Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your MatchDay Chat Live. I'm your host, The Gov, joined by Stephen Parry, who will also be joining me after today's game to give us his thoughts, his reaction. But as always, we can't do these shows without you wonderful people at home. So please, whatever your opinion, team news has just dropped. Let us know what you think of the team. Don't forget, we have our voice message service, speakpipe.com/talkingtown, where you can leave your pre-game thoughts, during game thoughts, post-game thoughts. I'll be hanging out in our Discord during the game. And I might even leave a voicemail too. It depends how this afternoon's game goes. And don't forget, we are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths and Match Bingo. You can get your Match Bingo gameplay cards before the game. And don't forget, if you do, use the word town all in caps for a 100% deposit bonus. If you deposit £10, you'll get a 100% deposit bonus. You can't use the deposit bonus to withdraw, but you can withdraw the winnings. Terms and conditions apply. Over 18s only. Please, whatever you do, be gamble aware. But that 100% bonus is the word town, all in caps. T&Cs applies, over 18s only. Let us know your thoughts pre-game. But here is the team, Stephen. Are you ready for it? It is Christian Walton, Darnell Furlong, Dara O'Shea, Kipre, Davis, Matasiwa, Taylor in midfield with Matasiwa, Egley, Nunez, Philogene, and George Hurst. So the only change really is the forced change, the 10. Nunez coming in and starting, hopefully, the way he finished. What's your instant thoughts on that team?
Well, I put a team out, it must have been about an hour and a half ago, and I had Nunez in the number 10, and I had Jens coming in as the central midfield. Now, that wasn't because I thought Taylor had a bad game. I gave him my man of the match. I just worry about Taylor's consistency because Taylor has an issue with consistency. And I'm not saying Jens is better or Jens is worse. I just think Jens is more consistent. But I can understand why Taylor's been played. He had a good game. Give him a
great game. He had a great game.
I gave him man of the match. Give him another go. And, if he does it again, maybe we've found, maybe we've stumbled upon something there. Maybe we can use that going forward. I have no problem in that at all. The number 10, I was probably pretty more confident that Nunez would play. Sammy's out for a few weeks. Akpom, is he 100%? Probably not. Either way, if Akpom had started, Nunez was going to come on in the number 10 because I don't see Egley coming into the number 10. And also with Nunez there, when we've not got the ball, it allows us to drop into a 3 in midfield, which I think might help us a lot more, especially defensively, and winning the ball back. With Akpom and Sammy Smodic, they try that, but it doesn't work. I don't think it works as well. So you end up with us having like two sort of like defensive midfielders and attacking midfielder, because Nunez can play as a defensive midfielder. He came in and replaced Matasiwa. We can argue that he wasn't as good at it, but he can.
They're very much a different type of defensive midfield player, more of a defensive playmaker than a holding midfield player.
He can drop deep to like just ahead of the back 4, and spray balls out. So he can do that job. And and he's also got the creativity going, up top when we're attacking. So I like that as well. And maybe we've stumbled on something there with Sammy being out. Maybe we've got an option there to try that for a few weeks and see how it works. And it might turn out that it works out well, and then we have to buy another central midfielder in January. Who knows? In regards to the attacker, I don't think it matters.
No, as on the bench, by the way. The bench is...
No, I know. Maybe
let me just run through the bench before you tell me about the striker. Button, Young, Johnson, Greaves, Humphreys, Kayust, McAteer, Clark, and Akpom. So obviously Akpom today you feel would probably be that player who may come off the bench and start up front or replace George Hurst, who does start up front. Obviously, interesting one though. Azon could be a knock, could be an illness, could be anything. But it does limit the options somewhat, doesn't it?
Yes and no, because it depends how the game state goes. Nunez could come off, or someone else could come off. Taylor could come off, and Nunez go in the middle and bring on Azon and go like a 4-2-2-2. You know what I mean? And have 2 up top. So it depends how the game state is. I don't mind Akpom in the 9. We all know he played well as a 10 at Borough. He played as a 9 for Ajax, so he's done both the roles.
He can definitely do both,
So I have no problem with that. I have a problem with people saying, let's put Azon in for Hurst. I don't really see that would make a hell of a, because we don't know who's as on coming on and starting are two different things. Because when he comes on, usually the defence has been run ragged, and it's very difficult to turn around and say, well, he's going to do that when everybody's fresh. You know, when he has done it and has started, I don't think he's been as good as what he has.
Well, he's had one start, hasn't he? It was Charlton at home, and I thought he was probably one of the town's bright sparks that early evening.
I don't think anyone,
I think it speaks more, Steve, into the public perception of how they view George Hurst's performance than it does perhaps how well they view Azon at this moment in time. It's such an early part of his Town career. But what I like about this 11 is the consistency. It's a forced change. That's the only change that we've made today. And I like that. After 9 changes, 7 changes, and so forth, I like the consistency of this selection. It's a 3-game week. You would expect, I don't want to see it, but I expect to see changes come Tuesday night. But for today, a consistent 11 or one forced change, 10 out of the 11. I'm all over it. Kieran says, hi all, let's get a win. 2-1 Town for me. EJ Norris, welcome in. Hope you're well. Daniel says, good afternoon, gents. Let's hope Hurst as well this game. No Azon on the bench. I'm really quite excited to see what Nunez can do in that 10. We saw glimpses of it towards the back end of West Brom last Saturday. Can he once again bring Sindravali-Egli into the game? Can Jaden Philogene continue his fine form? I'm very positive having looked at that line. And of course, Jack Taylor, you mentioned him at the top of the show, and I think you're right there. He had to play for me. He came in and earned his way into playing the second game in succession. It's about consistency now for Jack Taylor. It's okay coming in and doing well for one game. Can he stack it the next week? Can he go into this game this afternoon and play just as well? Because if he wants to stay in the team, there will be changes. But if he wants to stay in the team or force his way into the reckoning of Nunez, Karius, and Matasiwa, he has to stack those consistent performances for me. And that's one to watch this afternoon. Same for Kipre. I'm looking forward to seeing what Kipre and O'Shea do again today. They're up against a big test in QPR who are doing well. Interesting all around.
The one I'm looking forward to is seeing Egli again. I thought West Brom was probably Egli's best game. Yeah, it was coming in off the wing. It's the first time I've seen it come off the wing, getting into the box and getting into positions for Philogene's crosses and people's crosses. And I like that. And I hope they've worked on that, because if he can do that more, there's going to be goals for him.
Agreed.
You know? And he needs to do that more. You know, instead of just staying out there wide, he needs to engage. Yeah, we all know he likes to come inside and shoot, but when you're not going to get the ball, you've got to come inside and make yourself available for a cross. And he did that well against West Brom. And he got a couple of chances, and maybe should have put one away. But, you know, I'd like to see him do more of that rather than just holding the touchline, because that gets him involved. And we all know if we can start scoring goals from the left and start scoring goals from the right and supplement through the centre, then the pressure is taken off George Hurst a bit. I think at the end of the day, a lot of the pressure is on George, because nobody else is, you know, when we went up last time, everybody in the back, in the three behind him, was scoring goals.
Fair point. Yeah,
no, they're not doing that. Everyone's going, well, our striker's not scoring. But he never did when we went up. It was never that full-throated 20-goal a season striker when we went up, and everybody's suddenly expecting him to do it now.
Agreed.
You know, if that's what we want, then we need to go out and buy one, you know, and we didn't do. So obviously McKenna thinks that these players are capable, and I think these players are capable of scoring goals. Nunez can score goals. Philogene can score goals. Clark can score goals. You know, Egli proved he can score goals, not in this league, but in another league. You know, you don't get to the Norway national team if you can't play. You know, so they've proved it. They've just got to start, you know, coalescing,
putting it all together. Yeah,
and that's why I think less is more midweek. I could cope with 2 or 3 changes, maybe Clark. You know, maybe a central midfielder. I don't want to see wholesale changes. I don't want to see 6 and 7 changes. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, you like me. Absolutely.
I can cope with 3 or 4 and maybe wrap the odd one in cotton wool. Yeah. You know, Karius isn't playing today. I'd like to see him Wednesday or whenever. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday that we'll play?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. You know, Philogene isn't playing, put Clark in, you know, and
all right.
Mix and match. I don't want to see wholesale. I don't think it's healthy.
I completely agree with you. But back to this afternoon. I'm going to ask you for your score prediction in a moment. Those watching with us, welcome. Thank you all. We're going to finish shortly, but we're going to finish with our score prediction. You may have seen on the intro, we've got some merchandise coming soon. This is one of them. very soon. It'll be open, first of all, to our members, our YouTube members, our Ko-Fi members, with your discount link. But that's coming soon. So keep your eyes and your ears peeled on socials, on the YouTube posts, on your Ko-Fi posts. It's coming soon. Really excited to share that all with you. Craig said, agree with Stephen. Sindre is getting a lot more involved now. STSC, I don't think in our system at number 9 would ever score more than maybe 12 or 15 goals. So echoing what you were getting at there, Steve. And STST said, I'm highly critical of Jack. I think he means Taylor. This is his opportunity today. Needs to show what McKenna must see in him. Mike Woods, 1-2 Town to win. I think he means 2-1 as opposed to a 12-0 Town win. If it's 12-0, then wow, what are the odds on that one? That would be some afternoon. But Steve, I'm going to ask you for your score prediction in a moment, and also one player you think will be man of the match. So come the match reaction show directly after the game, one player you think you'll be saying, I told you to be man of the match. He run the game. He stole the show. So 2 questions for you there. But don't forget, in the meantime, we are partners with Stowmarket Osteopaths, quality care since 1985. If you want professional experience care, give Freddie a call. He's the governor there, 01449 613 633, and tell him the Gov at Talking Town has sent you for osteopath and physiotherapy services. Right, Steve, first question. Score prediction. What is it going to be?
I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1 to us.
2-1 to us.
I love that. It will be a tough game.
Who scores first?
I think we score first.
Oh, okay.
We score first, I've got. In regards, I want it to be Egley. Yeah, I don't think it will be. He will come good. I think he's going to be a little bit like Omari, where, back end of the season, he starts coming into his own. Yeah. I think it'll probably be Nunes. I think him in the number 10 role, dropping deep and, being like a quarterback and then running into the number 10 role, having long shots. I think he can, and finding those through balls. I think he'll be beneficial for George Hurst with the through balls. I think he'll be beneficial with the long shots. And having him on the field for the whole time will be beneficial for set pieces and corners.
Excellent. All right. So just to be clear, the one player you think will be man of the match will be
Nunes.
Love it. STST says man of the match will be Matasiwa. Score will be 2-1. Curious, I'm going one down, then winning 2-1. Goals by Nunes and Egley. Kieran, that would be a great afternoon. It's gone 2:00 in 5 minutes time. It's 2:05. Did you know, Steve, there's 5 tennis balls thrown by Norwich City fans this afternoon? 5. Count them. 5.
Last time I saw they were 1-0 down against Hull, who were playing absolutely badly. So next time they might be 10.
But 5. I mean,
I saw the protest outside. It looked like a bus queue. Really
I saw your post on social media. Anyway, we're back at full time, the full match reaction show. Stephen will be joining me. I'll be here, and we have our 3rd member of the team, which will be revealed in due course. I do know who it is. Before someone says Govs doesn't know who it is, I do know. All right, we're done for this. We're done for now. Let's let it simmer. Let it bring to the boiling point at 3 p.m. as Town kick off away to QPR. Enjoy whatever you're doing this afternoon. Join us post-game. Stephen, thank you for joining me. And don't forget the word Town, all in caps. If you want to deposit £10, get 100% bonus by using the word Town, all in caps with Match Bingo. Grab your Match Bingo cards before the game today. Use the link in the description, which will be there after the show, because right now there's no description in the show notes at all. Or scan the QR code on the screen. But over 18s only, TNT applies. Whatever you do, be gamble aware. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. Right, we're done. Take care. God bless. All the best. You've reached the end. Thank you so much for watching. Hit here to subscribe. It's totally free. And hit here for more Talking Town videos. I'll see you on the next one.